All right, so the New York Giants, everybody knows they need a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And with the 2025 draft coming up,
It's going to be interesting.
all eyes are on those quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward.
Big names.
But then The Athletic comes out with this mock draft.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of throws everybody for a loop.
It really does. They've got the Giants taking Travis Hunter.
Really?
Instead of a quarterback, which is a bold move, I think.
Yeah, that's the Heisman winner, right?
Ring Heisman winner.
Makes you wonder if they're really going to pass up on a potential franchise quarterback.
It's possible they see a different kind of value. You know, Hunter, he was amazing on both sides of the ball in college.
Yeah, he was.
Locked on corner and a dynamic receiver.
For sure. A rare combination. You don't see that very often.
And not very often at all.
He's that guy that can change the game in a lot of different ways.
Absolutely.
But the Giants, they had a pretty good draft last year.
Yeah, they did.
Neighbors, their wide receiver pick, he was a star right away. Plus, they got some other key players.
Newbin, Tracy Jr., Phillips, Johnson.
Yeah, so that puts even more pressure on Joe Schoen,
the general manager,
to make the right call this year.
Absolutely. Expectations are high after last year.
Giants are at a crossroads here.
For sure.
This draft could make or break their next few seasons.
Yeah, no doubt.
Speaking of pressure, Shedeur Sanders, he's not being shy about wanting to play in New York.
No, he's not. He's been hanging out with neighbors up in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he was even rocking those custom Giants cleats at the Alamo Bowl.
Wow.
He's definitely sending a message.
That's a bold move. I mean, what if the Giants draft somebody else after all that?
It would be a major blow to his confidence, probably. And who knows what it would do to his draft stock.
Other teams might start to wonder.
Yeah, you gotta think so.
Can he handle setbacks like that?
That's a tough situation for sure.
We can't forget about Cam Ward, though.
Oh, yeah. He's been quietly moving up those draft boards.
Maybe he benefits from teams getting cold feet about Sanders.
It's possible.
Back to the Giants, though. What are their options if they don't take a quarterback in the draft?
Free agency, but it's not a great pool this year.
Not a lot to work with.
Not really. Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito, those are the big names, but they're not exactly franchise saviors.
Doesn't really inspire a ton of confidence.
No, not really.
Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want more in-depth analysis like this.
We appreciate it.
So the Giants have three main options. Draft Travis Hunter, go for a quarterback like Sanders or Ward, or roll the dice with a free agent.
Each one comes with its own risks and rewards.
This is where it gets really interesting because each choice really tells you a lot about their strategy and how they see the future.
Yeah, what's their vision for the team long term?
Exactly.
It's a big decision. Joe Schoen is under a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah, he set the bar high with that 2024 draft.
He did.
Now everybody's expecting him to do it again.
Yeah, the fans, ownership, they all want to see another amazing draft class.
They're in win now mode.
They gotta be.
Every pick has to count.
For sure.
So let's start with Travis Hunter.
All right.
What makes him such a unique prospect?
Well, we're talking about a guy who dominated on both sides of the ball in college. I mean, he was shutting down the opponent's best receiver every week.
And then on offense,
Explosive weapon, making huge plays as a receiver.
he could totally change the game by himself.
Absolutely.
But how does that translate to the NFL?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got the potential to be an elite player on offense or defense. I mean, imagine him shutting down guys like Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase.
Wow.
And then on the other side of the ball, contributing to the Giants' passing game.
That's pretty exciting.
It is.
But even if he's as good as everybody thinks he's going to be,
They still need a quarterback.
it doesn't solve that problem.
It's a classic case of addressing one need and kind of ignoring another.
Yeah, you get a superstar on defense.
But you're still missing that stability and leadership that a franchise quarterback brings.
So high risk, high reward.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's talk about drafting a quarterback then. Okay. What are the pros and cons?
Well, the obvious advantage is you're addressing your biggest need, right? If you land a talented young quarterback like Sanders or Ward, you could set your franchise up for years.
The classic build around your quarterback strategy.
Exactly. It brings stability to the offense. You've got a potential face of the franchise and that leadership element that's so crucial.
But there's a lot of risk too.
Oh, absolutely. Not every great college quarterback makes it in the NFL.
You could end up with a bust,
And that sets the franchise back years.
especially with all the pressure on Schoen.
He can't afford to miss on this pick.
And you could create a quarterback controversy too.
Yeah. You bring in a rookie, you've got other guys on the roster.
It just makes things more complicated.
Definitely.
So it's a gamble.
It is, but it's a gamble a lot of teams are willing to take because quarterback is so important.
What about free agency then?
Well, that's even less appealing.
Like a last resort.
Exactly. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a problem that needs surgery. The guys who are available, they're either unproven
Right.
or they've already shown that they're not going to live up to the hype.
Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, they're decent quarterbacks.
But you're not going to win a Super Bowl with them.
Probably not.
So drafting a quarterback is a gamble. Free agency is a Band-Aid. What are the Giants supposed to do?
It's a tough spot they're in, and whatever they decide, it's going to tell us a lot about their long-term vision.
And what they think about this quarterback class.
Exactly. Are they willing to take a risk, or do they play it safe?
This is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's all about Shedeur Sanders and whether he really wants to play for the Giants.
He's got the talent, the pedigree, and that swagger.
He's got that it factor.
When you watch him play, you just get the sense that he's going to be great.
And it's not just hype. He's got a strong arm. He's accurate. He can make plays with his legs.
A true dual threat quarterback, and those are really valuable in today's NFL.
But it's his obsession with the Giants that has everybody talking.
It's almost like he's campaigning for them to draft him.
Spending time with neighbors in New York, wearing those giant cleats at the Alamo Bowl.
Yeah, he's putting himself out there.
That's risky.
It is. If the Giants draft him, it looks brilliant.
Like he knew exactly what he was doing.
Right.
But if they don't,
It could backfire big time.
the Giants are holding his future in their hands right now.
They could make him the face of their franchise.
The next Eli Manning.
Exactly.
But what if they reject him?
What happens then?
Does he use it as motivation?
To prove them wrong?
Or does it crush his confidence?
You never know how a young player's going to react to something like that.
This is about more than just talent and stats.
Absolutely. The draft is also about mental toughness, resilience, the ability to handle adversity.
And Shedeur Sanders is about to find out if he has what it takes. It's like a love triangle or something.
Yeah.
You've got the Giants with their quarterback problem,
Right.
the pressure on Joe Schoen to have another incredible draft,
He's got to deliver.
and then Shedeur Sanders betting everything on New York.
It's a high-stakes game, for sure.
Who's going to blink first?
And the implications go way beyond just one player or one team, you know?
We mean?
This draft decision could change how teams look at quarterbacks,
Oh, yeah.
how players try to market themselves,
Interesting.
even how fans see the Giants front office.
That's a good point. It shows you how important these draft decisions are.
Absolutely.
It's not just about filling a spot on the roster.
It's about shaping the future of the entire franchise.
And it's a good reminder that talent isn't always enough
Nope, you got to have the right fit, the right system, the right culture.
for a player to really succeed.
Exactly.
Shedeur Sanders seemed to think that New York is the perfect place for him.
He does.
But what if the Giants disagree?
What if they see a different path to success?
One that doesn't include him.
We'll find out soon enough.
Will they go for a player like Hunter to make an impact right away?
Right.
Will they take a chance on a quarterback?
Or just try to get by with a free agent.
Every option has its challenges and rewards.
And whatever they decide, it's going to tell us a lot about how they evaluate this quarterback class,
Yeah.
what their long-term vision is.
How much risk they're willing to take.
It's a decision that could define the next era of Giants football.
And for Shedeur Sanders.
It could be the biggest moment of his career so far.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, the big question is, what will the Giants do?
Will they take Shedeur Sanders' gamble and make him the face of their franchise?
Or will they go in a different direction?
And leave him to figure things out somewhere else?
Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure.
This is going to be one heck of a draft.
We'll be watching.